that goes inside of it as well. So here's our objectives. First thing we're going to do is define the cloud and describe its purpose and what it allows us to do. We're going to explain how IT professionals might use knowledge of the cloud to support clients in different organizations. We're going to be able to describe the difference between various cloud service models, including SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. We're also going to be talking about the contrast between the different cloud architectures. And we're also going to be explaining the role of security when it comes to storing information on the cloud. And here are key BSMs for today. We have adaptability, because you guys have to be able to adapt in order to retain and gain this information. We also have personal responsibility. So, does someone want to come off mute and read the definition of the cloud computing model for me?
Cloud computing is a model for enabling and convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing services, network servers, storage, applications, and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interaction.
Thank you, Jamal. Now, the main thing to understand is that the cloud is cheaper than owning an entire infrastructure. We're talking about servers, we're talking about networking equipment. The cloud kind of annexes any sort of upfront cost that you may have to deal with. And while the cloud provides many answers to doing more business for a lower cost, never leave the security up to the provider. In the cloud, there are going to be ways of being able to secure your own information. And there's going to be programs that allow you to secure that information in ways that you want to do. So just remember that. Creating regular backups is a key integral part inside the cloud. And they give an example such as OneDrive, that allows you to have backups, which is very true. In the cloud that I'm certified in, AWS, there's multiple different programs that allow you to create storage backups and to create just backups as a whole for your program that you want to run. Ways to support organization and using the cloud. So IT professionals use the cloud to support clients by making cost-effective suggestions on hybrid infrastructure, designing a hybrid infrastructure of legacy infrastructure and also cloud computing, to also help write policies that inside the cloud, and also to recommend different cloud programs for organization needs. So there are three different service models. You have infrastructure as a service, or known as hardware as a service. You also have platform as a service, and you have software as a service. And does someone want to come off mute and read what hardware as a service or infrastructure as a service is? A little bullet point.
Vendor provide. Oh,
You're fine. You're fine. You go.
I'm sorry. Vendor provides a hardware platform or a data center, and the company installs and manages its own operating systems and application systems.
Thank you. And Jutoria, can you read platform as a service?
Yes, I can. Okay. Vendor provides the hardware, platform, or data center, and the software running on the platform. This includes the operating systems and infrastructure software. The company is still involved in managing the system, but there aren't any servers, software, maintenance, or IT team. Someone else is handling all of that. Example, Salesforce.com.
Thank you. And can someone read the last bullet point for software as a service?
Software as a
Software as a
service.
service.
All right, go on. Vendors provide the entire solution, including the operating system, infrastructure, software, and the application. A vendor simply provide access to the data center and maintain that access.
Yes. Thank you guys for reading off. So infrastructure as a service, just remember that you're getting basically the building blocks of the cloud. Platform as a service, you're receiving most of it completed, and software as a service, you're getting it all completed. You don't have to do any work when it's software as a service. Platform as a service, you have to do some work, but most of the time it's managed by the cloud provider. And infrastructure as a service, you're building it from the ground up.
Would platform as a service be, would ServiceNow be categorized as part of platform as a service?
I'm sorry, repeat that, Chris.
ServiceNow, would that be like in that category? Platform as a service?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
And we have different types of clouds. You have public, we have private, we have hybrid, and we also have community. So a public cloud, a company pays another company to host and manage this environment. This puts your data safety in the hands of third party, but that party is often more capable and knowledgeable about protecting data in the environment. We also have private, which is a company that hosts the environment itself. This provides the most control over the safety of the data, but also requires the staff and the knowledge to deploy, manage, and secure the solution. We also have hybrid. This is for the solution. This is partly private and partly public. While mostly data is stored publicly, the more sensitive data is stored privately. And we also have community. The solution is shared by multiple organizations with common purposes, such as a joint project. So here's some features of the cloud. We have rapid elasticity. Elasticity is one of the really big things that you want inside your cloud. You want it to be able to scale up and down as quickly as possible. We have on-demand self-service. Usually you create backups in the cloud, so that way you really don't have to do a whole lot of maintenance on your cloud. So this on-demand self-service is basically it's treating itself. And it's basically fixing itself whenever, due to the fact that you have multiple backups. You have resource pooling. Resources are stored in pools across multiple customers. You also have measured services. And billing is usually measured, and also utility services are usually measured. Here are some issues that usually come with the cloud service models. Infrastructure as a service, the company has more control in charge of the securing operating system. Platform as a service, there's no direct control of the data, people, or infrastructure. There's trained security professionals are usually watching the data. And software as a service, the company would be using a third-party system, so the data is out there, not running the company's own client or owning their own server. So there are just some problems that can happen or arise depending on which model that you choose. Here's our time to climb.
Yo. This system models the vendor will provide hardware, but the company won't solve management its own operating system.
Good job, Iman.
Very cool.
So here, after we did our time to climb, here are just some security risks that come with being inside the cloud. Session writing. This is when an attacker steals a user's cookie to use the application in the name of the user they stole it from. This happens a lot. 9 times out of 10, session writing is usually something that happens on a regular basis. And there are programs inside each cloud that allow session writing to be basically getting rid of. Virtual machine escape. An attacker can take advantage remotely using a vulnerability through the hypervisor. The remote controlled machine can escape from the sandbox environment, gain access to all the VMs. And you also have reliability and data protection. The cloud service is expected to always be available and protected. It is imperative to find a reputable company that will ensure the safety of the data in case of lightning or other disasters, while also protecting from attackers. You really want to be careful about what cloud you choose, due to the fact that each cloud is a bit different when it comes to security. So just be careful about that. And there's also the fact that the cloud can be easily used for unscrupulous purposes. So to prevent malicious attacks from stealing data, make sure the provider is using the best encryption standards and also using secure APIs as well. And there you have it. So since then, we were able to compare and contrast different types of printers, not printers. This doesn't match at all. Well, since we finished with this activity, I'm going to be passing it back to Kelly.
We have one more.
This was the only one whenever I was searching through.
All right, I thought we were talking personalization too. All right. We'll jump into that one then. All right, thank you, sir.